I welcome you to my humble abode. In today's episode, we're going to jump into the world of the strange and conspiracy. The world of strange and conspiracy. This is a big subject to tackle. Man, this one is, there are no forests on flat earth, all right? Or no trees on flat earth. Okay, so basically, if you haven't seen this video or this phenomenon saying that there's no, but if you think about it, see, I'm just going to put the facts out there and I'm not going to really jump to any conclusions, but I'm going to put a lot of facts on there and I'm going to let the viewer, I'm going to let y'all bring your own conclusions, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have them. Now, basically what this is saying is that one, there's something way greater than us, a group of people, a group of giants, a group of something that's way greater than us and with way more technology. Because if it's a tree and they've been cut down, right? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying that the trees that have fossilized have been cut down and have been harvested, which makes sense because the rulers of this planet, that's all they do is pillage and harvest. That's all they do. But now we're going to tackle a few things here too. Hear this guy again. This guy. Look, this guy. He's here going to try to explain what these are. Of course he's not saying that this is a cut down tree. Of course he's not saying that. But what he's saying is that this is lava and the lava just turned into stone and it dried up like this. And it's called a base salt. So it's just really like salt. And what is salt? Salt is a crystal. And he points out here that they always form in this pattern here. And if you look at dried up sand, salt dunes, salt by the sea, all salt does dry up like this. That's true. But I don't think that this is lava, sir. Sir, look at this fool face. Look at his face. He know he ain't telling the truth. Somebody paid this man top dollar to put this tie on and this shirt and climb on top of this tree and say that this is some lava. He ought to be ashamed of himself. Look at him. Looking like Egon Spangler. All right. So, we're going to get off him. So, again, here's more photos. This is called, I think it's called Devil's Peak or something like that. Look at it. It looks like a tree. It looks like it's been cut off. And remember what I said, anything that's flat is not natural. That's not natural. That's not a natural occurrence. Okay? I'm just putting the facts out there. I'm gonna let y'all weigh it up. All right. So anyways, here goes some lava. You think that lava look like that when it dry up? You think it makes hexagonal patterns and geometric patterns? I don't think so. The closest thing that we're going to get to it looking like a geometric pattern is this. All right? And that's definitely not what's going on. All right. So, look what the lava's doing to the grass. Burning it up. Burning through the fence. So I guess by this scientist's explanation, this fence is going to turn into stone too. Okay? All right. We're gonna get off of the nonsense because it's nonsense right now. All right. Now, just based off of my thinking patterns, and you gotta be mindful, and you gotta keep your mind open to any type of possibility, and that's just keeping it real. And you got to think critically. On top of that, you have to think critically. Sometimes you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater and start all over and just come from a clean slate. So I after being presented with all this information, and mind you, if you do watch the video is going to be, it's like an hour long. It's going to be drawn out. You're going to be like, man, I don't want to watch this. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, skip into like 20 minutes if you can't take it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to pick up from there and get kind of interesting, you know. But after me sitting through the whole hour a couple of times, I was posed with questions. So if these are giant trees that have somehow turned into stone, somehow turned into stone, so that means that all the mountains are trees? I don't think so. After critically thinking, I'm like, well, some mountains are probably volcanoes, and anything that's looking like this, let's see, looking like this is definitely not a volcano. All right, we know that for sure. That's not a volcano. All right, so I think that there's different types of these mountains, but for the mountains that are in question, we'll just say that somehow something happened to make these trees turn into stone. We don't know what cataclysmic event happened. Remember, this planet is millions of years old. Fuck that 10,000 year shit that they talking about. This planet is millions of years. We don't know what happened. Okay? Secondly, whatever type of machine or technology they use to cut the tree down, what is that? What is that? Now here's the question. This is question time. What is that? It must have been pretty big, and these people must have been on some things, entities, who knows? What did they use to cut the trees? Third question, where did the trees go? I started to think about all these questions. Oh, what happened to the roots? Where's the roots of the trees? I started pondering on all of this. And a lot of things started getting real familiar to me when I kept going through all these ideas. I'm like, this is familiar, a little bit. I've seen this before, and we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm like, okay, we don't know who did it. We'll just say 9 times out of 10, the entities that created us, they did it, all right? What happened to the trees? Well, remember what I said about that the trees were forms of turned into fossilized rocks and turned into crystals like amethyst, quartz, silicone. Mind you, what is silicone? Let's take a look at what silicone is, shall we? Yes, I think we shall. Silicone. So basically, according to Wiki, silicone is, well, let's just take a look at what silicone is made out of. Silicone dioxide, oxygen, carbon, of course, dust. Silicone is like the 8th most abundant chemical element found in the universe. Silicone. So basically, they're saying that these trees are silicone, or made out of silicone, and silicone is the 8th most abundant chemical or element in the universe? What? It kind of makes sense if you think about what a tree is. Trees hold information. They've been here for hundreds and thousands of years. They've seen everything that has been here. They've recorded everything that has been here. Let's move on. Now, what else did they say that the trees are turned into? They're turned into quartz. What? Quartz? Oh, let's jump back on silicone. Remember, Silicon Valley. This is the hub of technology. This is where Bill Gates thrives. This is where Mark Zuckerberg thrives. Yahoo, Google, Facebook, all thrive in Silicon Valley, because Silicon Valley is what pushes all technology because of what silicone is. See, Now, this will make sense that the rulers of this world have harvested all of this ancient technology in the form of a petrified tree. And this is why they're so advanced. We think that we have technology at our disposal as, regular consumers. Trust me, the people who are responsible for really making this shit, the shit that they got, we can't even fathom. Trust me, we can't even fathom. All right, moving on. Quartz. They say that the trees are petrified and they are quartz. This is going to come up later in the video. Let's take a look at what quartz is. Remember, a long time ago, every watch worked by quartz. Why is quartz in a clock? Quartz clock. Quartz watch. Watch what quartz does. A quartz clock is a clock that uses an electronic oscillator that is regulated by a quartz crystal to keep time. So in your clocks, it's quartz crystal in it. That's what helps the time stay on time. And it comes from an ancient tree. If we subscribe to the no force on flat earth theory. All right. Cool. That's crazy within itself. Now, and if you work with crystals and healing crystals, we all know what quartz, amethyst, citrine, agates, things of this nature, we all know what it does. All right, that's why we work with the crystals, because we know it, and it makes sense that if the crystals actually come from the petrified tree, it makes sense of why it heals. It makes sense of why it has a vibration. It makes sense. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put the facts out there. I'm gonna let you judge it. All right. What is quartz? According to Wiki, quartz is the second most abundant mineral in the Earth's continental crust. Made up of what? Silicone. Here we go again. It's made of silicone. Where do we see that at? Back to the trees. They said that these trees are made of silicone. All right. And oxygen, of course. Now, moving on. Now, mind you, if they cut the trees down, what they cut it with, I can't tell you that. But I know that they cut trees down now. So, if we got big machines with our little punk ass technology that we think we got, imagine what our creators had. Yeah. I digress. Well, we'll get to where the trees and where all the stuff went to later. Now, the roots. What happened to the roots of the trees? I had to think about this. I sat back. I took my glasses off. And I said, nah, this can't be real, because where the roots at, man? And then I thought about it. The roots are what we call caves. If the tree's petrified, right? So that means that their roots petrified as well, right? And this is how we have a cave system. But it would make sense. How does a cave get constructed in the ground? It's because it's the old roots. You don't believe me? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at it. Okay, here we go. This right here is a cave. Look what's in it. A whole bunch of giant quartz. Look at this man. This man is standing on a quartz log in a cave. It makes sense. I'm just saying. I'm just connecting the dots on it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? Like I said, I'm going to just put the facts out there. Look at this man. Look how big that is. Look how big. Imagine how much this man is vibrating on standing next to this quartz. Pure, raw quartz crystal. Right there. Okay? Alright? We're going to keep going. Alright. Mind you. This is definitely mind-blowing stuff. This is the beginning of changing the scope of how people think about the origins of mankind. Okay? I'm just saying, obviously, we haven't been told everything. Alright? I mean, it's obvious. We haven't been told everything. I gotta put my glasses back on. Alright. But where's the trace evidence that this happened? Now think about it. Most of the time when you see these petrified trees that have now been turned into mountains, what do we see around them? Sometimes we see more trees, little smaller trees. Those are like bushes that we call forests. A lot of times we see sand, right? When we talk about Arizona, New Mexico, where we see the mesas and all that, we see a lot of sand. What the is sand? Can somebody tell me where the sand come from? Somebody said sand come from the ocean and the salt. There, that salt again. But I was like, well, it ain't no ocean in Arizona though. You feel me? It ain't no ocean in Saudi Arabia. Ain't no ocean. So where the sand come from? Start scratching my head again. I'm like, let's figure out what sand is. Let's take a look. What is sand? Sand is a naturally occurring granular mineral composed of finely divided rock and minerals. Okay, let's keep going. The composition and sand varies on the local sources, on the local rock sources and conditions. This is all bullshit, by the way. We're gonna get to the important part. But the most common constituent of sand in the inland continental settings, Saudi Arabia, Mesoamerica, and non-tropical coastal settings is silica. What is silica? Silicone, there's silicone again, dioxide. See, and forms of quartz. See, look, I hate to do y'all like this. I hate to do y'all like this. I know if y'all like me, y'all mind is blown. So where we find these cut off, petrified trees, we find sand. You know what that reminds me of? I used to work for the California Conservation Corps. I used to be really handy with a chainsaw. Reminds me of this. See this flying off? See that? That's sawdust. Now, okay, I know what y'all thinking. Haha, bruh, you going too far right now. You going too far right. Look at the sand dust kicking off. You going too far right now. Listen. I'm just putting the facts out there. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying off my experience, I've cut down many trees myself with a chainsaw. I know the fine dust that comes off a nicely sharpened saw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I get it. I used to put the chaps on. Yeah. All I'm saying is, if sand is fine particles of quartz and silicone, and it's found right by the petrified rock, mountain, tree, I don't know what kind of technology they use to do this, but it's highly possible that sand is a result of the harvesting of the silicone trees. Let's move on. Yeah, we've seen this before. Yeah, this is why this movie feels so familiar to us. We've seen this before. See, let me tell you something about the DNA. The DNA in your body is your library of your past lives. It's your library of information that you've acquired on your past lives. And remember, we've been here for a very, very, well, some of us, I can't say everybody, but we've been here for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. And a lot of people in Hollywood, look how they destroyed the tree. See how they destroying the tree? Look at him. And look who that is. Look how he looking. Look who he look like though. Yeah. We don't have to. Look who they look like. Who they look like? Us. Who they look like? Yeah. So remember that everything, all this information is locked in your DNA. And a lot of these Hollywood types, they put this information out there. Look at the tree. See the tree falling? See, he was dropping game. James Cameron was dropping game. We didn't understand why we were so drawn to this movie. We were drawn to it because we remembered it. You feel me? Now, let's just say that this happened in real life. Where did these people go after the trees was being harvested and destroyed by the invaders? Right? Where'd they go? You know, after the floods covered up the trees being harvested, right? They probably went in the ground. Radiation, glass in the sand, major war with the gods. All this is, you can find this in all the pantheons. All of them. You know what I'm saying? You can find this in the Vedas. The gods warring in the skies. Yeah, major technology was here before us. We trying to mimic it. And our rulers are mimicking too. They're mimicking higher entities. But you know. I'm not saying that any of this is facts. Well, I'm not gonna say any of this is what happened. I don't know. I can tell you I feel something. And that's real. The feeling I have is real. I can tell you that it makes a whole lot of sense when you think about it. I can tell you that. But I put the facts out there for you to be the judge. It's not up to me to make your mind up. I'm not trying to make you believe anything. I don't care if you believe anything. Only thing I want you to do is think.